sort of cap on pay, certainly because he wants to make society fairer. We've heard that a lot in the last half an hour. Is there any way in which that could potentially work?
Absolutely not. It's obviously sensible to think about what you might do about inequality. That's obviously an issue, and there's a question of fairness about who get paid what. But the reality is there is a market. To put it technically, there's a productivity distribution, and that has widened over time. So the very best are more productive than the person at the middle. And the reason that incomes have broadened is that people are paid for their performance. And obviously that's part of the story here. And clearly in an economy like the UK's, you want to reward somebody who invests, let's say hires thousands and thousands of people. The country benefits because of the jobs. The country benefits because of the extra tax income. And to actually think you could impose a salary cap is a completely idiotic idea. Not a single economist would agree with it. And if I'd have been an advisor when he didn't used to talk to me anyway, I would have said to him, back off, which it appears that he did within a couple of hours, because there was a visceral reaction from everybody on the idea that you'd put a salary cap on, because firms can find ways around it. It would be a disincentive. If you cap salaries in the public sector, quality falls. So this is another silly idea.
Could there be, I mean, he kept using the word fair and fairness in the course of that speech. Could there be a way then of looking at ratios, though, somehow either incentivising or penalising companies if there is too big a gap between the person at the top and the person at the bottom? Is there a way there?
Well, the question is, what's too big a gap? I mean, a company, let's say, is created by an owner who created the job and created jobs for everybody else. It's absolutely unworkable. Think about a company who then simply creates another company and pays through that. It's completely unworkable and impractical because we have markets. And the UK economy is a capitalist economy. It's completely impossible to do that. So company A says, okay, I'll create something, another shell company, and I'll pay the director £1. I mean, it's just completely impossible and impractical. There is a fairness question, but maybe the way to do it in a company is to incentivize shareholders, give them more power. But if the shareholders see that their return is okay, they go along with it. So you could certainly do that, but to actually say we should cap pay, I mean, it's not practical. It's not that you don't want to do anything about inequality, but this isn't the way to do it. Completely impractical. I mean, I tweeted this morning, I think it's totally lunatic.
OK, well, if you were still advising him today, assuming he did, to quote your phrase, assuming he did listen to you, what advice would you be giving him? What would you say, look, this is how we can deal with inequality in this country?
Well, I think my friend Richard Murphy, who was also an advisor, has said that he thought that the ideas that Corbyn had suggested were impractical. There are things that you can do through the tax system. You can give incentives for firms to hire. You give increasing power to the shareholders. I mean, Jeremy Corbyn's talked about making remuneration committees where the majority of people on there are the workers. Well, do you think shareholders are going to agree with that? No. So that shows no understanding of the way capitalism works. You can talk to companies. I mean, the government is doing that, thinking about ways of being fair and sharing things around. Let's just understand, though, workers are paid more in companies that are profitable. So profits are good for everybody. Corbyn doesn't seem to actually understand that. My students all think, I'm going to go work in certain sectors where my pay is going to be highest. And those are the sectors where profits are highest. The danger is what Corbyn talks about. It lowers the incentive to invest and it lowers profits. So I don't think it's a start.